Among the greatest wealths on earth, one of them is the wealth of Hindustani classical music. Hello, welcome to City Spidey. This evening we meet a man that needs no introduction. Popularly known as the Sarod master, we are happy to meet Pandit Biswajit Roy Chowdhury. Namaskar sir, thank you for meeting with us.
जी वेलकम
सर, ये मैं आपसे पहला सवाल पूछना चाहूँगी कि आपके सरोद जर्नी की शुरुआत कैसे हुई?
नहीं, मेरे घर में सरोद था, मेरे पिताजी सरोद बजाते थे, तो बचपन से मतलब पैदाइश के बाद ही हमने सरोद सुना। और मेरे पिताजी बंगाल के काफ़ी नामी सरोद प्लेयर थे।
राइट सर।
और उन्होंने उस्ताद अमजद अली खान साहब के वालिद फादर उस्ताद हाफिज़ अली खान साहब से सीखा था, और मैं भी उस्ताद अमजद अली खान साहब का भी शागिर्द हूँ। तो एक तरह से वो दोनों साइड की कंटिन्यूएशन चली। लेकिन यही जो आपकी सवाल है उसकी जवाब सीधा दिया जाए तो मेरे घर में ही सरोद था। मुझे अच्छी तरह से याद है कि वो स्टैंडर्ड 1-2 में या थोड़ा ज़्यादा सरोद बजाना मुश्किल है, इसलिए बोल रहा हूँ। 3rd-4th में ही मैं बिना सीखे ही बजा लिया था। मुझे ये वो ट्यून भी याद है। हाँ, तो वो बिना सीखे ही बजा लिया हम लोगों ने। और बाकी मेरी हम लोग बड़ा फैमिली है, 6 भाई बहन मिला के, तो मेरी बहन लोग भी गाना वाना सीखते थे उस ज़माने में। तो एक क्लासिकल म्यूज़िक बंगाली फैमिलीज़ में, साउथ इंडियन में, मराठियों में ये बड़ा फैमिली वाइज बहुत चलता है। लेकिन उस हिसाब से ये नहीं पता था उस टाइम में कि भाई ये बाद में सिर्फ सरोद ही बजाएगा, यानी ये पेशा रहेगा। लेकिन घर में था, पिताजी रेडियो बजाते थे, प्रोग्राम बजाते थे। और उस्ताद अमजद अली खान साहब को मैंने क्लास 6-7 में, यानी 66-67 में, 50 साल से भी ज़्यादा मैंने उस्ताद अमजद अली खान साहब को जानता हूँ, देखा हूँ, बजाया है।
सर, आपकी जर्नी में यू हैव लर्नड म्यूजिक थ्रू विद लेजेंड्स लाइक उस्ताद अमजद अली खान and Mallikarjun,
Mansur.
Ustad. Tell us something about that experience, sir.
No, both are different. Mallikarjun Mansur was a vocalist.
Right.
And vocalist in the sense that I'm lucky to have these two musicians who are certainly the best in their own field.
Right.
Like hardly in a century you get a sarod player like Amjad Ali Khan Sahab. And although Mallikarjun Mansur is not known in the common mass that much, but believe me, and those who know music or those who have listened to any classical music worth any to any degree would know that Mansur was in the entire 20th century one of the 4 or 5 best vocalists. He was a Padma Vibhushan. Both are Padma Vibhushans if you weigh them by the. But yes, Mansur ji was a vocalist, and like I've seen interactions of Mallikarjun Mansur ji with Ravi Shankar ji, with Bhimsen Joshi, and those who have seen them together would know to what extent they all revered Mansur ji. He was that kind of a vocalist. Like he is known as the musician's musician, and Mansur singing for hours together. So he was, as I said, one of the greatest musicians of the 4 or 5 greatest musicians of the 20th century. I was lucky, and so it would be a bit audacious for me to say that I've learned from them, because they are far more accomplished. They were, as I said, the greatest of all. I always put in a it's not my humility or humbleness, but I do mean it. मैं उन लोगों को सेवा किया, more than learning. उसमें जो interactions में जो मिला नहीं मिला, लेकिन उनसे सीखने का भी मेरा उतना हक नहीं है, मैं कह नहीं सकता हूँ मैं. But then there is one thing which is important, that you see, in our system of professional learning, there is this the highest form of guru shishya, student teacher relationship is done through a ritual, a ceremony, ritual which is called Ganda Bandhan. Yeah, you know it, good.
Right.
So I'm lucky, I'm the only one perhaps, not perhaps, definitely I'm the only one that both Amjad Ali Khan Sahab and Mallikarjun Mansur have tied Ganda to me. Amjad Ali Khan Sahab के साथ 1979 में 5-6 साल इंटरेक्शंस के बाद 79 में गंडा बंधन हुआ और पंडित मल्लिकार्जुन मंसूर जी के साथ भी वो 7-8 साल एसोसिएशन इंटरेक्शंस उनके घर में रहने के बाद 1984 में हुआ। तो दोनों ही 40 साल होने वाले हैं। मैं भी बुढ़ा हो गया।
Not yet, sir.
No, I'm 65, which is no longer a young person. Anyway.
Sir, the current world would be a world of Instagram reels where attention spans are constantly decreasing. So what is the significance of Hindustani classical which can take decades and decades to learn?
And to digest, there's a group of the cows, for instance. They got they eat, then it's kept up in a particular part of the stomach to be digested after 4 hours, 5 hours. So gestation period. So that is not only it's just learning, but then assimilating that. Mallikarjun Mansur ji's guru died when he had learned for just a few years. Then he said, 3 साल तो सीखा गुरु से, उसके बाद 12 साल लगा उसको एसिमुलेट करने में, सुबह शाम 4-4 घंटे. इसे सुबह 4 घंटे, रात को 4 घंटे मैं रियाज किया. सच्ची बात बताता हूँ, 11-12 साल मुझे लगा. उसके बाद उसको आत्मसात कहते हैं हम लोग, एसिमुलेट करना. तो वो बात सही है आपका. भाई इंस्टाग्राम का टाइम है, भाई ट्वीट करने का टाइम है, भाई तू बता दे क्या है. वो हमारे साथ है ही नहीं. दे आर नॉट कनेक्टेड टू अस. We are neither bothered nor do we know about what is Instagram. It's you were asking, you were trying to chalk and cheese वाली बात हो रही है इसमें. Then it's got nothing to do with each other. The Instagram, the tweeting, the fast moving things, the whatever singer Arjun sings and all that don't belong to us.
Is that why you have always said that Hindustani classical is not for all?
It isn't. It's like you are saying that we know there are so many images. Now it's called letters. Now it's called 140 for tweeting.
Right.
But what is the relationship this and Sanskrit? It is not. It's not. They are both languages. Yes, and the one with the Instagram or with messaging, the language has nothing to do with Sanskrit or the other way around. So it is music at the end of the day, same as it is messaging. It's expressing through words.
Communication.
Yeah, it's communication, but they are not there at all. So like I don't, we don't go together. I mean, we cannot say what happens to you when you are doing this. No, it's nothing. It's a Indian classical music, for that matter, any music is a language of communication. It's a method of communication. Indian classical music is a serious subject. You see, for us, it's more than that. It's a way of life for us. वो जीवन बिताने के लिए, जीवन चलाने के लिए, ज़िंदगी बिताने के लिए हमारा एक यही रास्ता है. You can compare it with spiritualism. ये बताइए, हाँ, वो expression of emotions, reaching to the God Almighty and all that is correlated with it, not the time of Instagram or fast music. If you know what I mean. I mean, I'm not being clear about it, but that's what I mean.
So, but still, I mean, so many youth are learning Hindustani classical. What would be your message to them?
To repeat what was asked, the same question was asked to Ravi Shankar from another very well-known musician, and I loved the answer, and I'll sort of copy him. I'll repeat it. Lage raho munna bhai. To the youngsters also I say the same thing. Lage raho munna bhai. अब आगे देखो कुछ होता है नहीं होता है, उसमें कुछ नहीं होता. You see, it's not exactly कर्म करो फल मिल जाएगा या नहीं मिलता है, ये इज नॉट, वी आर नॉट गोइंग इनटू दैट यू नो sort of cliched kind of this thing to the students, but what we say to the youngsters is exactly what Ravi ji said, कि लगे रहो मुन्ना भाई, it's तुम अपना करते रहो भैया, जो होगा होगा, नहीं होगा नहीं होगा, लेकिन the moment you are out of that rat race or out of that you know that whole thing of how to go ahead and all that,
getting and spending,
it's you have lost the game straight away there. It's more like as I said, it's more like way of life. It's the way you spend it, the same thing that you do from after getting up, you do blah blah blah, and this is how you spend the music. And what we do, we get up in the morning and we start practicing, and then evening comes and we go to sleep and so on. I can play it back to you, a beautiful fantastic interview of one of the greatest sitar players ever born, Pandit Banerjee. He lived for a short time. He died at the age of mid-50s. So not many people know of him, but he was perhaps considered, he was considered by many as the best sitar player. And I have an interview of him somewhere in California. And when this was put to you, how do you spend your day? It's amazing the way he talks about it without knowing himself that he is talking only about practicing. सुबह उठता हूँ, फिर 1 घंटा थोड़ा सा नहीं प्रैक्टिस नहीं, थोड़ा बजा लेता हूँ, उसके बाद थोड़ा ब्रेकफास्ट होता है, उसके बाद सितार लेके बैठता हूँ, नहीं अभी भी प्रैक्टिस नहीं हो रहा है, कॉम्पोजिशन इसको अलग से देखता हूँ, फिर वो 2 घंटा होता है, फिर थोड़ा घूम के फिर बैठता हूँ रियाज करने, वो 3 घंटा होता है, लेकिन उसके बाद क्या होता है, थोड़ा सा लगता है कि कुछ और करूँ, तो थोड़ा सा और कुछ इधर उधर का चीज़ बजा लेता हूँ, और उसके बाद लंच के बाद लेकिन 1 घंटे का रेस्ट है भाई, उसी टाइम में मैं क्या करता हूँ, थोड़ा म्यूज़िक सुन लेता हूँ, फिर बैठते हैं, लेकिन रियाज नहीं, उस टाइम वो तबले के साथ, तो फिर वो 5 बज जाता है, तो उसके बाद रियाज होता है 4 घंटे, नहीं फिर उसके बाद द होल थिंग, पुअर मैन वाज सेइंग दैट ही ज़्यादा प्रैक्टिस नहीं होता है मेरा. And I said, wow, he was talking about just being with his sitar, and he's saying, no, I'm not practicing, and he was so sincere about it. So that's what I mean, that it's like you spend the day with your instrument, with your music, either you are changing the string or breaking the knobs and fighting with each other, and then you're practicing, and then you are doing this. It's a way of life. It's a way of my whole day's routine. And that's what it comes down to us.
Thank you for giving me your
time.
Thank
you so much.
Thank you.